market has capitulated and profit takers are slowing down. Now, it is the time for weak hands to take profits out too early as we bounce higher. Because market is always like this. Different indicators in the market shows that the bears are slowing down and buy the dip is increasing right now and it's continuing even higher. So as we move further, just 10% higher, we are going to invalidate the bearishness and move with that bullish mode again. So 10% higher may push us to the recent top of 1.91 in XRP. So the market shows you different indications that it is reversing. Having the possibility of a wild alt season is something many of you don't want to miss, as your portfolio is full of altcoins with fundamentals and some risky assets too. Look at the charts and what does it suggest to you? Do you see what I see here? If that possibility is correct, next drop of that alt season is something you don't really want to miss. As the altcoin market bounces, showing it's there hitting that double bottom, flying towards the new high is something we are eyeing, but before that you need to move above this moving averages. So right now it's showing you the stories which were told by historical price moves. We may enter into that euphoric state and then continue higher, but what people usually misunderstand here is about the pendulum of investing, and I really want to highlight this. From fear to greed, from euphoria to damn fear, it moves so quickly, and at the neutral state it's not too much time you are kind of waiting there, because by this area it's complacency. Now understand, it becomes greed just before that reversal. Now if you look at the current market, you also need to understand complacency is not only at the top but also in the bottom, thinking, okay, I'm not buying here, I think it's gonna go lower. So now that's a choice which you really have to take, right? If we enter into a euphoric state from here, that's what the majority of us really want and really don't want to miss it. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. Each asset inside this asset class has its own cycle. Most of them move independently, some of them move highly correlated, right? They are highly correlated, and that's why we kind of go through different assets at a time to give you that idea so that you now understand where it's moving. Yesterday, before we started moving, we were kind of giving you different indications of what the market is going to do, and that kind of ended up showing you various perspectives, right? So if this is the case there, you don't want to be out of XRP. Now there are people who will move out because, you know, everyone have a different situation, but if you can think about this, the first wave till the roof here was kind of 90%. Next one was 164, but we wicked even a little bit higher. Fine, you corrected back down, then you went up 300%. So what next? 400, 500, 600%. So anyway, that's about the all-time highs. Now look at the indicators. It's kind of double bottom. MACD is about to cross to the upside. It tried once, failed, twice, failed. So mostly we're going to cross to the upside here and continue higher. That's on a daily time frame, so it's not that small stuff. Now yeah, you can look at these and understand we are going to have this bounces. So just before the breakout yesterday, I gave you guys the indication at one area where it was really getting interesting at 0.92. So this was that chart which I posted in my alerts, highlighting that we are nearing a breakout, and it was like 0.92 at that time, and then we broke higher. Now that was a 4-hour chart, so it's not that daily huge breakout, but it kind of gives you that idea. From April we were kind of maintaining below this RSI. So if you are eyeing this one, you now understand this. And at that time, we were just going to break above after a bullish flag here with a higher continuation in the MACD. So if we are to enter into the positive territory in the MACD, that's really bullish. So that's why I'm actually giving you guys, if I say this, you'll know that. So that's why we have the Telegram alerts there. Now, this market shows you a lot of different indications, right? This is XRP BDC pair on a weekly, and in the buying zone, we came, we dipped. Now, those who were lucky and those who really watched our video during that time, say November, December, Jan, Feb, they actually had a huge opportunity to enter. Now, most of them would be in XRP USD pair instead of XRP BTC. That's fine. So right now, if you break above this level, the next resistance would be the red line. That is the moving average. So if you get this 200-day moving average as a retest and break to the upside, that's a positive step. Now from here, it's again like 200% to the upside. So if we get that move on XRP BTC pair, yes, we should also get an XRP USD pair, which would be much higher. So we just saw the trend, right? The possibility is like 500%. That's not a small stuff. Now, if you are looking at this on a weekly, you also have this perspective there. You came down with a long shaved bearish candle, and then right now you're going back. So if you don't manage to break above and close above this range, it's still going to be a little bit risky. Now you're closing in. Right now you can look at the price and you can see we are kind of closing in. So we need to break above this level 1.05. If we do that, that's kind of a area where we broke below. Say this was a resistance before. We tried to enter back up, but it was resisted. Then here it was supported, right? We broke above. Next time it came back down, it was supporting. We bounced off. We came back again. It was acting as a resistance, and then sellers took control. We broke below. We went till this dip. Now we came back up. We retested that zone. It was rejected. We went back. Now what's interesting here is the rejection didn't actually create a new low there. Instead, it created a higher low. So that gives the idea that buyers are getting back in this range and they're pushing the price up. Now, that would be validated if we move about this range and the buyers are getting through here. So if the price enters towards this range of 1.1, 1.2, that's going to be bullish. Now, this is a 12-hour chart. I agree. So you may need to actually go into a 3-day chart or a weekly chart to get better understanding. But now in this 3-day chart, even if you are looking at this stuff, if you zoom in and look at this, last day of bearishness is already erased. Now, remember, this one candle is 3 days. So this 3 days and this 3 days and this 3 days, 10 days of bearishness is about to be cleared and closed in a 3-day candle, which is bullish, right? Now, we know that we have a zone here of resistance. So we need to break above or get inside that one. On a 3-day, the close is here, the close is here. Yeah, on a 3-day, it would be 1.067. So if it's eyed, you're trading it on or investing based on a 3-day chart, you're now looking at 1.07 as a break to the higher, which gives you the indication that we are going to continue higher. Now, understand, on a 3-day chart, your 20-day moving average is pointing you to the upside. The 50-day moving average is supporting the price. 200-day moving average is moving higher. Now, as you move into different charts, now the macro level is like what we have here is a monthly chart, which indicates the 20-day moving average is moving to the upside and it's near to cross the 50-day moving average on a weekly. That's bullish. Now we haven't done that. We need to do that. So hopefully in next move to the upside, we're going to do that. Now on a weekly, we have already got the 20 crossing the 50 and then the 50 crossing the 200. So that's golden cross. Now you can go back in history and look when it has happened before and how long we have moved to the upside after that. So now if you look at history and if you consider history as an indication or at least a base of knowledge, then yeah, you should be someone thinking to stay here for some time using the volatility so that others are not, happy about the volatility, because many consider these kind of drop in the market so dangerous. And yeah, it is dangerous if you don't understand what you're doing. And others, those who understand what they're doing, they would buy or average down, and this 77% drop would be created back as an opportunity to get 350% of gain. So that's how those who know the game do it, right? They keep dry powder aside, and when the market drops like this, we don't know where the base would be, but they would still buy at different support levels. And as it bounced through like this, they are making that. So if you look at this weekly chart here, you can just see how we bounced. We came up, we went back, retested that, moved higher. So here I'm still saying we have that probability of coming down. We came down. Now, that was an ABC pattern, actually, ABC. Now if we get rejected from here, we may move like this. So that's a possibility. So as you move higher above 1.05 1.07 range, that's getting more bullish. So now that's the side of XRP on it, right? Then on the side of BDC dominance, this is really something you need to concentrate on, because if you focus here, you can see this was the moving average zone. All the moving average were strictly moving closer, and 20-day moving average crossed to the downside. Now, if you look here, we have something similar. The 20-day moving average crossed to the downside with 50 and 200-day moving average, which is really bearish. That means we're going to continue lower. Fine. So what's this? We are breaking to the downside. We came down, we bounced that dead cat bounce or retest, and then we came lower. Something similar is happening here. Look at the RSI. We're continuing to the downside. Look at the MACD. We are in the negative territory. The volume is negative. We're continuing to the downside, and this is on a weekly. Now, that's really interesting. If you are going to get this drop here, we are going to directly go to the bottom of 30 or 28 in dominance. That means some cryptos which have good upside from here, which hasn't done much, is going to move higher, and XRP is among them, right? And there are other coins which have moved enormously in this cycle. They would be slowing down. They would be, kind of getting correlated with Bitcoin. So you really don't want to be in those coins which are not going to perform well in next 6 months. You need to be looking at that if you are an investor. If you're a trader trying to go through this volatility, get something from this dip, this wick, now good luck for you. Otherwise, if you are someone who's minimizing your risk and maximizing your gains, that's fine. You can always look at these. Macro perspective is different, right? We're looking at this and understanding, okay, we may remain in this range. So now that's a macro perspective shown in a daily chart. It should be understood on a monthly, but it's easier to understand that on a daily, because the indicators are becoming more and more bullish here, showing a possible cross to the upside here in the MACD and a breakout to the upside on the daily, which really is bullish. Then you look at this, we moved higher, we reached a new top, we consolidated there. Right, now you retested the top multiple times, you were not able to break that, so you went lower. Now you found a bottom. This is showing you that this was first bottom, second, third, created that spring and Wyckoff pattern. That shows an idea that this is reaccumulation pattern. If you go to Wyckoff patterns, look at the accumulation, reaccumulation and distribution, you will understand that. Then you look at this is the double bottom, and as you're bouncing, if we are going to break through the support level, as I told, that's going to be bullish. So this is the simple pattern if you are looking at, and Bitcoin, which is being followed by XRP as well. Now, when Bitcoin dominance is dropping, that doesn't mean Bitcoin is going to drop in price. That means when Bitcoin is going to move 10%, alts are going to move 20, 50, 100. We don't know which coin would move like that. For that, usually we enter into a coin which hasn't done much in last 3 months, last 4 months. If it has popped recently, chances are it would be consolidating for next 3-4 months. So that's how you're going to identify where you're going to stay, because now the sentiment is changing. Central bank in India is coming out and stating, it's no longer valid that the banks are stating Reserve Bank actually stopped this, because they are saying, no, we haven't done that. So now the commercial banks doesn't actually have that rule saying, we won't be providing any service to crypto exchanges. That's coming illegal, because most of the nations are moving positive towards this. The news for XRP is getting positive, and that's why we are seeing money flowing back into the market. Now, when we say money flowing back into the market, you also need to understand the volume is increasing. At first, yesterday, we were something similar to Cardano, something similar to Binance Coin. But right now, we are way higher than that. Now, that's just 24-hour trading volume, right? So, if you look at XRP here, look at the liquidity side of it. The buying momentum is 441 and the selling is 190. Just to give you an idea, look at what BNB is like. 113 million in buys and 137 in sell. Great. Look at Cardano, 137 in buy and 210 in sell. Now, that's just, kind of what you're looking at there in the market. Say, if you want to get that idea, look at Bitcoin, 75 billion in buys and 1.75 in selling. Now that's really low. Compare that with Ether, 45 billion in buys and 1.1 billion in sell. Now compare that with XRP. Just in last 24 hours, this change happened. Now something similar, jump onto the Dogecoin. That's really interesting that the buy of Dogecoin is 36.7 billion and sell is 66 million. Now compare that with Ether. So you are getting some perspective here, right? Now, XRP is just increasing. So, considering the reach of XRP and where it is now, it has a long way to go to the upside. You can look at many different coins in this one, in the entire market structure, and say, okay, for example, here, this particular coin is now increasing on the buying end. And the chart suggests that you are going to get the double bottom and continue higher into a wave structure where you're gonna move 500% or limited towards 1800%, which would be wave 2 there. Now, all of these need to be understood clearly, because the market always moves like this. Market drops, most of them are fearful, then the market would be consolidating like what we are seeing right now. If you move on to a daily chart, you will actually see this consolidation there. We went higher, we are consolidating there before creating new highs, and then people are having that anxiety. The level of anxiety is too high, the emotion is too high, psychology is too low, because they are considering this as a bear market. Fine. Now you tend to create a neutral stance. That's what we stated here. As we cross above this, we're coming into that neutral territory. Then we are going to enter into that bubble territory. Now, this happens in different cycles. It can happen on a daily chart. It can happen on a weekly and monthly chart. If you're a long-term trader, what you're looking at is at least a weekly or a monthly chart, so that you get the real ROI, which this market is going to give you, which this market is going to come up with. If you are not ready for that, you may be hit hard by the volatility coming in between. So guys, if you received value, please do support the channel, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done that already. If you'd like to get these kind of charts and alerts on time for you and your portfolio with a lot of different assets, you can definitely look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.